All it took was 8 words said in a moment of frustration for Stranger Things fans to begin speculating about Will Byers' sexuality. But for actor Noah Schnapp, his character's sexual orientation should be the least strange thing about Stranger Things. Throughout the 3rd season of the Netflix pop culture sensation, Mike and Lucas are dealing with their fair share of girl troubles. They're wondering why their boyish behavior so often upsets their girlfriends Eleven and Max. Things grow worse when Eleven and Max dump the boys, leaving them to moan and complain in Mike's basement. Will tries desperately to pull his pals out of their funk by declaring a day free from girls and filled with Dungeons and Dragons, but it's no use. Mike and Lucas are too caught up in the pain of their breakups and purposely cut the D&D campaign short, which causes Will to storm off and ride his bike home in the rain. Trying to apologize but only getting halfway there, Mike ends up snapping at Will.
Elle's not stupid. It's not my fault you don't like girls.
Many viewers took this line, plus the other harsh words the boys exchanged with one another, as an indication that Will could possibly, well, not like girls, at least not in a romantic way. After all, the teens are starting to come into their own as young adults in the 3rd season, leaving fans wondering if this exchange could be a hint that Will is gay. Schnapp opened up to the Wrap about the scene and got honest about his own interpretation of Will's sexuality and where the tension in the scene comes from. It could be that Will is gay, but the friction between him and his best friends could also come from his fear of growing up, as well as the quite understandable trauma he experienced while stuck in the Upside Down. The actor said, "When Will got back from the Upside Down, he expected everything to just go back to how it was before. All his friends have girlfriends and they're out dating, and he just wants to have fun with his friends." Schnapp also added his belief that the line is more up to the audience to interpret, at least for now. But what does the actor think? From Schnapp's perspective, Will doesn't even know which way he leans yet. Getting kidnapped by an interdimensional monster really threw a wrench into his last years of carefree childhood. As a character, he's not ready to grow up and move on to the next step with girls or guys. All he wants companionship for is for kick-ass D&D sessions. In other words, Schnapp feels that Will just isn't focused on romance right now. As he put it, "I kind of just interpret it like he's not ready to grow up and he doesn't really want to move on to dating and relationships yet. He still wants to be a kid and play in the basement like he did in old times." Regardless of whether that scene out in the pouring rain was a hint at Will's sexuality or simply a moment between 2 best friends who had drifted apart, it was an important one in Will's Season 3 arc. Will ends up racing off to Castle Byers, his childhood hideout, and destroying it after his heated conversation with Mike, a metaphor of sorts for his slow, inevitable lurch into adolescence. Though Schnapp has said that he doesn't know anything about a potential Season 4 and isn't sure what to expect from it, series creators Matt and Ross Duffer have mentioned that it would feel very different to Season 3. Whether the possible upcoming season will address Will's romantic interests remains a mystery, but it's clearly at least a small part of the character's storyline. After all, the topic has been coming up in dialogue since Season 1. In the very first episode, when Joyce reports Will missing, she mentions that Lonnie, Will's absentee father, used to mock their child for being gay.
He's a sensitive kid. Lonnie used to say he was queer, called him a
Is he?
He's missing!
Whichever way Will ends up leaning, we know what we want to see out of a 4th season. It's not him wasting time in the episodes making out with people like Eleven and Mike keep doing. We just want to see Will the Wise get beyond all these interruptions and finally complete his Dungeons and Dragons campaign. Check out one of our newest videos right here. Plus, even more Nicki Swift videos about your favorite stars are coming soon. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit the bell so you don't miss a single one.